Hey there, cats and kittens! It's Crossover Attack again with Eric Freshley from Freshly Streamed Games and Hunter Davenport from Comic Club and Phantom Zone.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going marvelous.
It is a marvelous week.
Up here, actually, in the video, that's
Capping for Cap.
Yep, capping for Cap. I haven't even got, or whatever, we'll get to it in a minute. It is episode 11, and it is the 4th of December, and it is not a whole lot of news, but that's okay, because the Game Awards are almost here.
That's right. That's going to be the news for the next week or so.
Yeah, you're right. That'll probably be, I'll have to look at the calendar, but we probably have one more episode this year, and I'm sure we'll do Game Awards recap, and probably talk about our favorite games of the year. I don't know. Whatever. And this episode, though, we're mostly going to be talking about predictions for the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Not so much the awards, because who really cares? Now, I don't know. I do and I don't.
I care in that it'll be fun to see Joseph Ferris say something horrendous into a microphone.
They're nice. I'm not saying they're a bad thing by any means, but
they're fun. I think they're fun. That's what it comes down to.
The show itself, I absolutely love. I absolutely love the show. I'm talking about the awards themselves. Like, I don't take them ultra seriously, but
me neither.
That's fine. No, but the show itself, and at some point I'm going to do a separate video kind of talking about this. I don't understand the bitching about any Nintendo Direct, Game Awards, E3, any of that stuff. It's like, you're seeing new games. What's there to be angry about?
It's all promotional material.
Yeah.
You're just getting mad a commercial isn't enough of a commercial for you. Shit. It's very strange to me.
And people get mad at the Game Awards because there's too many ads. I'm like, well, what do you think the purpose of E3 is?
This is one big ad.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. It's not. That's what Nintendo Directs are. Like, it's.
We are in this hobby because we like to be advertised to.
Exactly. Level. We're all filthy capitalists. That's what we are.
One quick follow-up note from last episode before we get going on some stuff. The Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive story. I'm bringing up the story here to begin with. Where they had said they were doing a reboot. Well, it turned out they'd overstated their position a little bit. Like, they're thinking about doing a reboot, and they might do a reboot, but they're not actually doing them right now. I bet they happen eventually, but probably not for a little bit. Team Ninja, they could get somebody else to do them, but if they wanted to do it themselves, they got Wo Long on their plate, and then Rise of the Ronin. I think after that, they're quite busy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's going to be a long time for them.
Yep. But I bet Ninja Gaiden does return someday. They did that collection, and
they will return.
Yeah.
That series will not die.
No. I meant to ask you this off the air, but I forgot. We have the games list here. Is there any more to add?
Nah, this is my whole 2 weeks,
perfect.
bro.
Well, let's start with Marvel's Midnight Suns. I streamed 9 hours of it straight last night, and I'm going to stream more tonight as soon as we're done here and I edit the episode together real quick. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much have you got to play.
I'm 12 hours in.
Oh wow, so you're, yeah, because you told me about some characters you've unlocked that I haven't yet, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
where are you?
One of those characters I have not unlocked, and that's Wolverine. But I have encountered him and played with him.
Okay.
But I just unlocked Captain America.
Okay. Yeah, you told me earlier today that you unlocked Wolverine first, and I thought that sounded weird.
I meant to say that I encountered Wolverine.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. This is my favorite game I've played all year.
Wow.
I really love it.
Yeah. So, I think most people probably know by now, but this is Firaxis, the makers of XCOM. And it shares with XCOM in as much as it's a tactical strategy game, and that's about it. Everything else is all new.
If I kind of had to describe it to somebody, it's kind of like if Fire Emblem and XCOM had a baby.
Yeah. Yeah. But even the combat is very different because it's a card-based system, which XCOM is not.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
It's interesting because the cards feel just more like as a vessel for your attacks rather than like an actual card game.
Exactly. I think a lot of people got really freaked out when they said it's a card game, and no, they're basically just they are just like it's a list of if you were an RPG character, it's just a list of your attacks. You just don't have them all at once.
Yeah, the idea is the different characters have different decks and they just shuffle them together, and that's how you do it.
But they had to do something like that because in XCOM, the feeling of, the randomness comes from your hit percentage chance. Like you can always miss. Like you can, depending on your position, you can make your chance higher or lower. But it's very rarely 100%. They can't really do that with Marvel because it doesn't make sense for Captain America to run up and punch somebody and whiff.
He can't miss.
Yeah, that's just not what superheroes do. So they had to have some kind of other elements in there to keep you on your toes and to keep you always guessing.
It also does not feel very random to me. I feel like there is like kind of like a set rule.
I haven't played enough. You're probably right. But so this game is, for me, it's the tale of two games because I am absolutely head over heels in love with the combat. Like, maybe even more than XCOM, and I fucking love XCOM. But this just, I am so impressed with, because Firaxis has never been a studio that's like bombastic, like but I'm so impressed with the hit effects on this. And the I'll be honest, the faces look like shit, especially Tony Stark. His face looks terrible.
He looks like a sim. It's great.
But the combat effects when Doctor Strange casts a spell, or even just a simple punch from somebody like Spider-Man or whatever, they all sound good. They look good. The enemies fly through debris and particles fly everywhere. It's really, really cool.
That's one of my favorite things, like presentation wise, is like by the time you're done with like an encounter, the entire map is destroyed.
Yes, and the environment is very important in combat, because you get a limited number of cards you can use per turn, but environmental attacks they don't cost towards that. They do cost towards another resource called heroism. So you can have your characters pick up objects and throw them, or they can knock over light posts or jump off of things and do like a big jumping attack, all kinds of crazy stuff. But the Fire Emblem half of this game, I am not loving so much. Well, okay, part of it I do. I don't mind the character interaction. You take characters out on dates. There's nothing romantic in this game, but you hang out or whatever. That stuff's all fine. I don't think the dialogue is great, but it's fine. I can handle it.
I think I've had some fun with some of it. Like,
there have been a couple things that have genuinely made me laugh, and then other things, especially from Tony Stark, that just...
Tony does not shut up.
No.
Like, he does not ever stop talking.
And the bickering between Tony and Doctor Strange, I think they're going way too hard on. That is like... that's already grating on me.
I kind of like that, because it's like, those two would kind of hate each other a lot.
Yeah, and they've clashed in the comics and the movies, but it's just non-fucking stop. And it just, I don't know. And the biggest part to me, and this has been dying down now, I'm getting into the game, but right at the beginning, it's just like every other sentence is a Marvel reference just to like prove, hey, we're big comic book fans. Like, there was one point, Tony Stark is playing Monopoly with somebody, and Carol Danvers is just like sitting there. And then in 2 sentences, Tony goes, oh, this game's crap. What is it, designed by Wilson Fisk? And Carol goes, the last time Tony got this mad, we ended up with Ultron. It's just like, okay. Yeah. Like, I love comics too, but relax a bit.
I like I said on Facebook, I'm the biggest Marvel shill, so like that stuff's like heroin to me.
Yeah. But the part of the base is called the Abbey, by the way. The part that I don't like is just how fucking big it is. It's massive.
I go back and forth on this.
To me, it feels like wandering around the Mortal Kombat crypt, but even more confusing because it's all woods. Everything's woods, so it's so easy to get lost and confused. And I'm just wandering around, picking up shit. I hate that stuff, honestly. It makes for a boring stream, too.
I kind of go back and forth. I'm happy it's there because I think if it was just a series of menus, I think people would be. I would be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
I think they maybe went a little too crazy with it.
Yes.
I appreciate it's there though. Like it's pretty cool that they fit this entire other game into this game.
The monastery in Fire Emblem I thought was a pretty good size. Maybe even that was a little too big, but it was close. This is just way too much. And like I said, it's just a lot of it is because feels like there's no landmarks to know where I'm at.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's all woods everywhere I look, and it's so easy to get lost.
I think the game should have a Witcher compass where it's like, here's your, like on top of the screen, there's like north, south, west, and east, and it'll show you where your objectives are and like where people are.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Like, it's a little too big, but I do enjoy going out there and finding random paintings in the middle of the woods. Like that's fun. There's fun to be had. It's just it's a little convoluted at times.
Yeah, it feels like those paintings should be more Marvel themed.
They should,
but you can make your own with. After you finish a combat mission, it gives you a generated comic book cover, which is pretty cool. With the characters you took out on that mission in different poses and shit, and you can modify it all to swap characters in and out and change things, and then you can take that and hang those up in the Abbey. I haven't done that yet because it does cost a resource called Glimmer, or no, not Glimmer.
It's Gloss.
Gloss, that's right.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I haven't done that because you also spend that resource on costumes. So I've been mostly using it on that. There are a lot. I bought the most expensive edition, so I have a ton of costumes right now.
Yeah.
And there's a shop also, so they're going to sell more costumes for sure.
Mm-hmm. The costumes I kind of are a little disappointed by, if I'm being honest.
There's a couple there that like feel like there are a couple of iconic costumes that feel. Oh, are you still there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still there. I had to fix my camera.
Gotcha. A couple iconic costumes that feel like they should be in this game that are not right now, for sure.
Yeah. But they said they're adding more, so I'm guessing that's.
Yeah, but they're gonna sell them.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna buy the season pass because I'm weak. So.
Well, yeah, I already did buy it, and that comes with a ton of costumes.
Yep.
But yeah, overall, I think both of us are loving the game. Especially the combat. You seem to be more into the overall picture than I am. But I'm gonna play the hell out of the game. It's obviously going to, if both of us are hardcore Marvel people. If you're not, I don't know if this would get you.
If you don't like Marvel, I don't think you'll like this game very much.
I agree. You have to at least be ambivalent at worst.
Yeah. It's a great game. It's definitely my favorite one I've played all year. I think definitely.
It's on my list. I've because like I said, next episode I do want to talk about some of our favorite games. I have 7 written down. And it's one of them. All right, should we move on to God of War? Which
let's talk. Let's do the spoiler cast.
Yeah, I was gonna say both of us have finished it now.
Yep.
I don't know how spoiler heavy are we gonna go. I don't have a whole lot to say, honestly.
I don't think I'm going to go too heavy, but I am going to spoil some stuff because I have some thoughts on them.
All right, so I don't know. I'll wave my hands or something when we're done with spoilers. So
yes,
for the next couple of minutes, we're going to talk about God of War, the ending, and everything. So turn your sound off or fast forward or do whatever you need to do.
Yep. So I like the game a lot. I like the story a whole lot. I think it's a great, well-written story. I do have some caveats with that statement, I think.
Me too.
Ultimately, I think where the game ends, with Kratos being essentially the new Odin, I think that's a really smart way to kind of redeem him. It kind of makes me feel like there's going to be 2 series going forward now. There's going to be God of War with Kratos in wherever he is, in Midgard, and Atreus going around the world fighting giants. All that stuff's really good. I kind of feel like the last let's say, hour of this game was a little rushed.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, wait, do you mean in? I thought the set pieces were fucking incredible.
They're awesome. They're
Yes.
great.
So you mean more of a story thing? Because
I
agree. If we're talking about, let me say real quick, I think Thruid's turn and then Thor's turn both felt a little bit unearned. Like, they weren't terrible. They weren't completely blindsided me, but they did feel a little bit unearned.
It feels like it just, they were going to put, like, it. I was listening to Castle Super Beast, and they were talking about this, and they were saying it feels like this was going to be a trilogy, and then they shoved it all into 2 games.
You know, I did listen to some of the director. I think his name's Eric Williams, maybe. Pardon me if I'm getting that wrong. On Kind of Funny doing their spoiler cast. I believe at the beginning of this game they were talking about should we do 3 or 2 games. So you're not far off.
Because like Ragnarok happens, and it's just a rush to the end of the game. It feels like.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But I like it.
I like it a whole lot. The game's good. I have my nitpicks, like the puzzle stuff's a little annoying. This is a weird problem I had. There's too many goddamn side quests.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I was fucking done after like my first night with this game, because I pretty much streamed it in I think 4 nights overall. I did the whole thing, and by the end of night 1, I was like, no more fucking side quests. I'm done. I'm mainlining it to the end. The only one I did after that was save that one guy who jumped off our flying boat.
Yes.
I saved him. But other than that, I was like, I'm done.
I did the exact same thing.
Yes.
Because I did the mine one with Mimir telling you about what happened to the doors. So I was interested in that, and I wanted to see what he was going to say.
I don't think I did that.
It's a okay side quest. But yeah, I did that, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do the next one. And then, like, I got to Vanaheim, and I was like, I don't care enough anymore. I just want to put... the main story was the thing that was keeping me going.
Yes, absolutely. I think... I kept saying to people, I'm ready for this to be done, but I'm not going to drop it. I want to see the end, but I'm ready to be there.
I think that says a lot about the game, though, that you're willing to see it out.
Absolutely.
It's a great game.
Yeah, it is. And everything we said last week still holds true. I'm still kind of sick of this formula. And I don't want them to do another God of War in this style. I want them to change it up again for the next one. If they do a third one like this, I might bow out. That might be my breaking point. But it depends how long it takes, I guess. But that's not... That's more of a statement on kind of where we are as an industry than it is this particular game. This particular game is great.
Especially Sony, I feel like.
Yes, absolutely.
But, you know, they have other things coming, like Spider-Man's not going to be like this, more likely.
A little bit.
Well, it's not going to be a story-driven action, like, corridor action game, essentially. It's going to be Spider-Man. We're swinging around New York.
There's a couple TikTok videos I gotta remember to send you. And actually, I'll shout her out. Her name on TikTok. Actually, you talk for a second. I'll make sure.
The game's great. I just feel like the last third of it is a little crazy. It's so rushed and weird, and I don't know. I like everything leading up to, like, killing Heimdall. That was a great moment. I really liked that whole thing where he did not... It doesn't seem like he's doing it on purpose. It just happens.
And I thought I was going to come way later in the game. I thought Heimdall was going to be like the last fight before Odin.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too.
Real quick, her name on TikTok is Eric Utz, EUTZ 4, the number 4, the win. And she has got a series of videos called How to Be a Sony Exclusive. One of them is like, have your companion there that is arguing with you the whole time, and have the boost where you fucking lift each other up and all this stuff. And it's like, yep, I'm seeing this in all these Sony games.
It's crazy how Uncharted set the formula and then Last of Us cemented it. It's so funny.
And we're just doing the same thing.
They just keep doing it. And people, I don't know, full disclosure, I don't like Last of Us 2, but
I didn't play it.
People eat that shit up. It's weird to me.
I loved the first Last of Us. I never got around to playing the second one. And I was feeling that way before God of War 2. It was like, I love the first one, but I just feel done with the shit. I don't know. I
mean, I'm gonna play them because I like these games, but like I have my nitpicks and I wish they'd fix them. But it's not. For me, it's not enough for me to drop them because I'm a weak person. Well, but it's like, you know what I mean.
It's a Pokemon situation where it's like, we're all pissed off about this thing. Are they going to change it? No, because they sold 1 billion fucking 100 billion copies. Nope. So,
even if it did bomb, I don't think they would change it that much. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. Sony Santa Monica does have another IP coming. I hope it's different. I hope it's drastically different.
I hope it's something cool.
All right, I'm ready to wave my arms if we're done with God of War spoilers. Are we?
I'm good. That's all I gotta say.
No more God of War spoilers.
Yeah, it's all over.
It was weird when Sonic showed up. Anyway.
Yeah.
The Game Awards are in a couple days here. The end of this week, right?
Yes.
I took
the 8th.
I had some vacation days that I just have to burn pretty soon anyway, so
I took 5 days off, so I'm good.
I took one for the Game Awards, and then we get like a week and a half or so off for Christmas, and I added on to that too, so I'm gonna get 2 weeks off for that.
There you go.
I'm very excited for that. Expect lots of streams.
Oh, hell yeah.
At the end of this month on my channel. And speaking of streams, I'm going to live react to the Game Awards too. So if you want to watch alongside me, twitch.tv/FreshleyStreamGames, or, that'll be on YouTube later. I love watching reaction streams, but not while it's live. I watch the clean version live, and then I'll watch the reactions later. But
so I'd also like to announce Comic Club will be doing that.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. It'll be me, Frank, and my roommate Andrew. I got something actually super special planned that we're gonna set up.
Oh shit!
It's gonna be really fun.
How do you do? You guys? Well, are you all gonna be in the same building?
Yeah, we'll be in the same room.
I was gonna say, if you were like all over if you were like Discord, I don't know how to do that shit. But
no, we're clear. I'm not gonna give away the surprise, but this living room is gonna be clear by Thursday. So
all right.
But it's gonna be fun. We're gonna be doing that and probably doing some commentary before and afterwards. It'll be fun.
Awesome. Is that going to be archived on YouTube anywhere?
That if I can get it archived on YouTube, I don't know how Game Awards co-streaming thing works, but
usually they will. They'll give you a copyright claim, so you can't make money off it. But
I'm not making money off my
exactly.
streaming thing right now. So
me neither. Yeah, so my last God of War video got copyright claimed. I just noticed that was the first one I've had in a little while. Anyway, so we got predictions. How many bullet points do you have? I have 7.
I have a couple because I have about maybe 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, then I'll go first with I'll name 2, and then we'll go to you, and then back to me. Okay. I am gonna throw this out there, and look, I'll be honest. I'll also say right off the bat, I did have Mortal Kombat 12 on here, but then Ed Boon came out and tweeted, "Nope, we're not doing it."
Here's the thing about that, Eric. Ed Boon tweets a lot of things.
He does. I don't know if he would just do a straight out lie though. I feel like he would.
I don't know.
I feel like he would maybe try to be a little more clever with it or something.
He's a man who speaks in riddles, so I guess it could. He's being pretty straightforward though, so I don't know.
So a lot what I was trying to get at is a lot of mine are more of hopes than predictions. If I'm being honest, a lot of these I think they're probably not going to come true. But whatever, we'll just have some fun saying some shit. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. They've been holding on to this now for quite a while because of the Ukraine war. I'm gonna say they're gonna come out with a big surprise and say it's out next week.
Okay.
Just Boom, drop it. Nintendo has for a couple years liked to have a December game. Xenoblade 2 was in December. The Smash Brothers was a December game. I feel like there was another one that I'm forgetting, and this year it doesn't seem like they have one.
Wasn't Dread a December game?
I don't think so, because it won at the Game Awards last year.
Oh, that's right, it did.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, but so yeah, I'm just gonna say they're just gonna drop it next week. I would say like it would be a shadow drop and say it's out right now, but I think that game is out physically, and you can't really do a shadow drop with a physical game because they have to be in stores early. So I'm just gonna say next week.
Okay.
Do I have another Nintendo one? I can maybe theme these together. Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. I should have put that right next to it. And we've gotten some indication this is happening. We don't know when exactly, but I'm going to say I think they're going to reveal a Switch port of Kid Icarus Uprising. Which we'd heard that Bandai Namco, I believe, is doing some kind of Switch remake of an action game.
So...
And then last week, Sakurai did on one of his videos on his own channel, he talked about the game for something else and then kind of said, it would be nice if we could play this on a current console, that kind of thing. I think it's happening.
Yeah, that video kind of cemented it for me.
Yeah.
Also, if you're not subscribed to Sakurai on YouTube, please do. It's delightful. He posted a video of his cat the other day, and it was great. Yeah, I'm really excited for that, if that's true, because that game's great, and it's being held back on the 3DS, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and not just technically, but also, like, controls, I remember, were fucked up on that game.
Destroyed a lot.
Go ahead.
I destroyed a lot of people's wrists, from what I remember.
They had, like, a stand that you would put your 3DS on just specifically for that game. It was so weird.
Yeah, very strange.
So, yes, I think that could benefit from a Switch version. How about you go with one?
I think Starfield's going to get a release date here.
Wow. Another release date? The real release date.
So. The real release date.
Yeah.
Hopefully. For the love of God, please. I honestly think that they're going to show something. Because, like, think about it. It's like, where else do you announce that? Just on a random Tuesday?
Yeah.
You know?
If Xbox holds the tradition, they don't... the only shows of their own they really do is Summer Game Fest, and like sometimes they'll do like smaller streams.
Xbox Insider or whatever it's called, but like that's for like indie games, isn't it?
Well, they used to have Inside Xbox, but they haven't done that now like since before the pandemic. I think. Maybe they'll bring it back now that the pandemic's over, but also that show kind of wasn't paced very well. I think they should just start copying Nintendo Directs, and now
they should.
And in
every company should.
Yeah. And in 2023, they absolutely have the lineup to do 4 of those a year, one each season. But whatever, that's not what they're doing. So yes, you're right. If they stick to what they traditionally do, they don't have another place to announce it until E3, and it's supposed to be out by then. Because remember, at E3 they said all these games are going to be out in the next 12 months. So
yeah, so I'm thinking.
You're not wrong.
I'm thinking it is.
Do you have any kind of guess on when that release date will be?
That seems like either a holiday or maybe February. Maybe.
I think around May or so.
May would be a good one too. I think
holiday, like I said, of course, games could get delayed. This game's gotten delayed before, but they did say before that at E3 that, hey, everything's going to be out in the next 12 months. So if it's a holiday game, that would be a delay, which is totally possible. They can delay it. But, but otherwise, like, I think Redfall is going to come out before Starfield. So maybe, like, I think that February spot would probably be Redfall. And
I'm half expecting them to be like, Redfall's out in 2 months.
Could be. Could be. Well, that would be February. Holy shit. God, this time's flying.
Yeah, I know. The year's almost over.
Well, I'll give some Xbox One since you broke that dam. I'm going to say first gameplay of Avowed. Obsidian's Elder Scrolls-like.
Ooh.
Although we also hear it's not as similar to Elder Scrolls as you might think at first. But
Elder
Scrolls-like.
I mean, but like, they're doing like an open world action RPG thing set in the Pillars of Eternity universe.
Right.
That seems like close to Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. It's enough for people to know what I'm talking about for sure.
Yeah.
That game, I believe they had internally, just according to leaks and stuff, they were at one point planning on releasing it this year, but then there was not just a delay, but actually a small reboot. Not a full, they didn't scrap the whole game and start over, but there was somewhat of a reboot ending, so it got pushed. That one I think could be Xbox's holiday game next year or early 2024. I'm hoping holiday next year.
I could see that.
Yeah. I'm actually, you know what? I didn't write this one down, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. I don't think, this is a negative prediction, I don't think they're going to show Hellblade 2 because they've done it at the last 2 Game Awards. I think that's
I don't think they're going to show it without saying it's almost ready for release, to be honest with you.
That's another one that I think is their holiday game next year. Hellblade 2 is holiday next year, and maybe Avowed will also join them. But I think Hellblade is more. I would lock Hellblade before I would lock Avowed.
Yeah.
And my last Xbox one, and this is a wild one, but I'm going to say it anyway. The people at Rare have been a little more active on Twitter this week. It seems a little bit more. There just seems to be more of a jovial mood in the studio. I think Everwild might resurface.
What is this game?
Who knows? And apparently they didn't know for a while. This one, how we just talked about, Avowed went through like a minor reboot. Of Everwild apparently has went through major reboots. They've scrapped it and restarted it several times. The original director, the guy who came up with the concept originally, is gone. So nobody knows exactly what it is. I can tell you what I want it to be, but I don't think this is what it's going to be. I would like it to be half Monster Hunter, half Viva Pinata. You go out and you capture it. You go out, you get in combat with animals, and you capture them. You don't kill them, and then you bring them back. And the animals you bring back, you have to like set up a habitat for them all to live together. I think that would be cool. But I don't think that's what they're going to do. That's just what I want.
I want Everwild to be a turn-based RPG.
It could be. Honestly, when I look at the Xbox first-party portfolio, I don't think they have any.
They don't. Well, maybe that Wu-Tang game. We don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, fucking that Wu-Tang. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think of that.
That game's coming out.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely coming out. But honestly, that could show up here because that's the kind of thing that that has mainstream crossover appeal. It's not just for games.
That is... Every time that comes out, I'm like, that is so cool, and I'm glad someone's making that.
Absolutely. Remember they closed the Game Awards one year with the fucking Fast and Furious game just because, hey, you get celebrities on stage. That's the kind of thing...
Because Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez were there, and they've been drinking.
That's the kind of thing that if you can get the Wu-Tang guys to show up at the Game Awards, that could be... You go.
So this is another release date. And this is fitting because of Phantom Zone and just things we've been talking about on Phantom Zone recently. I think Suicide Squad is also going to get a release date.
I didn't even think of that. You're right, I bet.
Because Fandom's dead. Zaslav killed Fandom. Yeah, there's no more Fandoms. Damn. Unfortunately, because those were a lot of fun. But yeah, I think they're gonna get a release date. I think that's a February game, if I've ever seen one. I'm hoping.
The first gameplay was at the Game Awards last year, right?
Yeah, and they had what's her name from Mad TV come out.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know her name.
She's playing Amanda Waller. She's a great actress. Yes. I can't remember her name. Is Nicole Wilson? Is that her name? Yeah.
I don't know her name, but I know, like, I can see her face in my head. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. I'm expecting that to be there. That's going to hopefully be there because I really want a release date because I want to play it.
Yes,
really bad.
I badly want to play that. Yeah, I could see February. That also does feel like a summer game to me too, though.
That's true. Yeah,
it just feels light and poppy, and I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
I would like it earlier though. I hope you're right. But February is so fucking packed now.
It is. It is. People, they're gonna move games.
Yeah,
Games
yeah, absolutely. Maybe is anything in March? Put some stuff in March, guys. Come on.
March would be actually perfect.
I think March is pretty bare, and I think April's pretty bare.
Like April released it on my birthday on the 11th.
Your birthday
and
is
I'd
April?
be like, yeah.
So is mine. That's right. I didn't know that.
Hell yeah. Twin Aries. Yeah. But yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, what I was kind of wondering is February like the end of a fiscal year for a lot of companies or some shit? Because it's just crazy right now.
I think it is.
Must be.
And I do have one prediction.
I got two more. But
do you want me to just drop it on you now and just get it out of the way?
Sure, go ahead.
Kojima's gonna show his new
God damn it.
He's been so active lately. He's got to show something.
The Xbox game or no? It can't be the Xbox.
I don't.
Game, right?
Here's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cause like that overdose stuff leaked, and he's been like, "Oh, we got the girl from Deadpool 2,
sure,
and we got Elle Fanning,
yeah.
and she's like, we're making a game, and he's like, where am I gonna show it off?
Right.
And his best friend Geoff. You know?
Yeah, I guess the question, and you and I have already talked about this, so we don't need to get back into it, but is Overdose that Xbox game, or is that a separate thing?
I think this is a PlayStation game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, very well could be.
Because the logos he's been showing off, one of them is in Death Stranding.
Yeah. And I do think he would like to be... It would be kind of neat to say, hey, I'm the first guy who's doing a PlayStation exclusive and Xbox exclusive at the same time. That'd be kind of... Yeah. Seems like something he would Seems like something he would mark out for.
Yeah.
My last two predictions. I think we're gonna get the first trailer for the Twisted Metal show, and then maybe even at the end they give just a logo and say we're also doing a game at the same time.
That wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, the Twisted Metal show I think is done shooting. Smojo's back on TV, so
yeah, he is. So. This might be controversial. I don't know.
I know.
But I hope that game has nothing to do with the television show.
Okay, no, that's not what I thought you were going to say. Yeah, I kind of do too. And I suspect it's going to go that way. They've done... I don't know. I also don't... they just want... The Cyberpunk and Witcher effect of a bunch of people who watch the show and then go play the game.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily need to be like one for one.
No, but with Witcher and Cyberpunk, those games are already out.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping they don't pull a Ratchet and Clank and just make a movie game again.
Absolutely. I feel like the game is also going to be free to play live service, probably.
I hope so. I would actually really love that.
Yeah. I'm a huge mark for Twisted Metal.
Like a Twisted Metal, like maybe not battle royale thing, but like sort of like like free for all kind of thing.
It already was kind of battle royale, as much as like, hey, it was a free for all with the last man standing. You start with no weapons, you pick your weapons up. Obviously, very different pace from what you think of today as a battle royale, but yeah, totally. Boy, I'm excited. I liked the PS3 game. Well, I know a lot of people didn't.
I love that game. I do love that game.
And the last one is also for Sony, and I probably shouldn't have saved this for last because it's not the biggest one. And also, it's kind of a no-brainer because I think 9 seconds of footage for this is already leaked, but I think we're going to get the official reveal for Helldivers 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have a question about Helldivers. Was that a Super Nintendo game or something?
Nope. No, just played PlayStation 3 and 4. Or maybe just 4. I don't know.
Because people talk about Helldivers like it's this weird story franchise. And I like the first game. I played a lot of the PS... Was it on PS4?
I think it was PS4 and Vita. And PC.
Yeah,
PC also.
I played the Vita version a lot. And the PS4 version.
Yeah.
And like when I talk to people about it, they're like, yeah, Helldivers always been great. I was like, but is there more Helldivers than just that game? Like,
just that game, and it did have a long tail of content after post-release content.
Good. Okay. Yeah. All right.
So maybe that's what they're talking about. Yeah, but no, just a one game, and it was just like it was not a huge audience, but the ones who got into it went fucking crazy for it. It was one of the first Let's Plays on my channel was me and the bear playing a little bit of Helldivers, and that's the only time I played it. I liked it also, but I just didn't stick with it for whatever reason. Probably because I play my co-op games on Xbox, because that's where Elisa's at. But yeah, we know that game's happening. Like I said, there has been a leak already of like 10 seconds of the CG trailer that is apparently just waiting to be revealed somewhere. And Sony hasn't done a state of play in a long time, so this seems like a good place for it.
This isn't a prediction, but I hope Fable's there in some form. It won't be, but I really love Fable and I want more Fable, and there's not any, and it makes me sad.
I mean, it's happening, but just probably not as soon as you would like. I think that is early at earliest holiday 2024.
That I feel like the Kojima game's gonna come out before that. To be honest with you,
very well could be. Although Playground Games has been pretty efficient in the past.
Good. That's good.
I mean, those Forza games almost never miss every other year. I think there was one time, recently, like Forza Motorsport now has been on hiatus for a little while, and I think that pushed back Horizon a year, maybe not. But yeah, Playground Games is efficient. That being said, the Fable team is a separate team than the Forza Horizon team. So
yeah, though I hope there is racing in Fable.
Very well could be. Let's move on to some news. Not a lot this week, which is the first time we've been able to say that.
I know, pretty crazy.
A while. Also, I'm just writing down less stuff now because it's just like, oh god, our news segments have been so long.
There's some of it where it's like I don't want to talk about Activision again.
Yeah,
but we'll talk about like the big things.
Well, we're about to talk about a big Activision thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, Reuters, excuse me, reported that. So, and I think we might have talked about this last episode. Xbox offered 10 years of Call of Duty on PlayStation to PlayStation, and PlayStation didn't respond. Well, now Xbox is taking that offer directly to regulators in the EU, and if the EU looks over that deal and says, that's okay, you have to offer that to Sony, and we're good with it, and then it's up to Sony to say yes or no. They could say no. I don't know why they would, but they could. And then
at that point, if they say no, they're just...
I know. So yeah, that has apparently happened, and if they can get the EU to say yes, like the big ones left are America, UK, and EU, and the thinking, and also I guess China, but China's probably gonna say yes. The thinking being, if you can get one of them to say yes, then it'll be like dominoes, and the other ones will start to fall. So that's their plan of attack right now, it seems. Although some guy on CNBC also said this isn't true, so fucking who knows.
Well, there's also all the reports of like the FTC trying to sue Microsoft over this.
Well, yeah, they're buckling up for a lawsuit, but also that doesn't necessarily mean the lawsuit will come. Apparently, if the FTC wants to ask for any kind of concessions, they first have to file a lawsuit, and then they can ask for concessions before the lawsuit actually happens. So that could just be what it is. That could mean nothing, could mean everything. Like, this is such a dumb process. That was my whole kind of thought behind finding out all this.
I can't wait till we don't have to hear about it.
I know. I didn't even want to write it down this time, but that felt like a big thing. Well, let's move on then, because I'm done with that. You want to... hey, what's the only good bug?
A dead bug?
A dead bug. We're getting a Starship Troopers game. Starship Troopers Extermination was announced. It's going in early access this year from the team that made a game called Squad, which I'd never heard of. I had to look up.
I've never heard of this either.
But apparently, like, that game's well liked. People are into it. It's coming early access on PC only. I bet it'll come to consoles eventually when it hits 1.0, I would assume. It's a 12-player co-op thing. And it does split you up into squads of 4, so I guess it'll be 3 squads of 4. But you're all working together. There's, base building, or at least, like, reinforcement building and defenses building. And, there's classes, all that jazz.
I think that's it. This game is the most interesting out of all these weird licensed games. Because, like, it has, like, the defense building mechanics.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that's kind of really cool for a co-op game like this.
Absolutely.
It makes me much more interested in checking it out.
Absolutely. It does feel... We've gotten it felt like it was starting to wind down, but there was a bit there we were getting a bunch of Left 4 Dead likes.
Yes.
And the big twist on this one, obviously, of course, Starship Troopers being a license, but also it being 12 players is quite a big difference.
That's pretty crazy to me.
Yeah.
I hope we should try and get 12-player game of that game.
Oh, that'd be cool. But it's only on PC, so I mean, we got it.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is on PC.
Yeah.
That's
well, but that's early access. I'm hoping when it hits 1.0, there will be console version. It's my.
I mean, if it does well enough, I imagine they'll put it on Xbox.
That would be fantastic. Of the Left 4 Dead likes though, I think Back 4 Blood was okay, but not a real standout. The ones that have stood out to me were World War Z, and Vermintide, which also I guess now you can count Darktide as part of that. Which Darktide is apparently that's also only on PC for now, but that's making its way to Xbox. Apparently it's fucking awesome, but pretty much a mess. It's a technical mess right now.
I have heard the bugs in that game are pretty wild.
Yeah.
But it looks like I love Warhammer 40k stuff. I never read I have a couple books. I've never read them. I don't know anything about it. I just go on the wiki and look. This game kind of makes me like, maybe I'll dive in.
Yeah, I don't know a damn thing about Warhammer, but I played Vermintide and absolutely loved it. So
it's the coolest universe, I think, straight up.
So I'm very excited for Darktide when it does come to console. Which hopefully should be pretty close. They're supposed to be on the same day originally, but stuff happened. There was a report from GamesIndustry.biz, about From Software and their work culture, and surprise, surprise, they underpay and they crunch their people like hell. Yeah, shocking.
Yeah, it's so depressing.
I know.
This keeps happening, but it's like, It sucks that it's this widespread. You know what I mean?
I'm more surprised when I hear about people who aren't doing it.
Yeah, like when the Insomniac stuff came out about Ratchet & Clank, they're like, we made this game with no crunch. I was like, you are saints.
Yeah, absolutely. And shit, the rate they're putting games out at the high quality they're putting out, that seems almost amazing. Almost, honestly, there's part of me that thinks, are they hiding something? I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's not a good thing to have that mindset, but that's just like where the industry's at right now.
Yeah, it sucks. I think slowly but surely unionization is becoming the norm. Mm-hmm. Like it's like, or not the norm, but it's happening more and more.
Activision, their QA people. I meant to link to the story. I forgot. But they voted on unionization. It seems like it's going that way for them, at least the QA department.
Yeah. And they should be unionized. They're arguably one of the more important parts,
In this From Software story, there was a big point in there about how, compared to Atlas, how much more Atlas people were getting paid than From Software, and they're like, comparably sized. Oh, here it is.
I have always thought that making games should be the best job in the world, and the fact that it's not is so depressing.
It seems like one of the worst.
It's soul crushing.
The equivalent, From Software, their average yearly salary is the equivalent of $25,000, and at Atlas it's $38,000.
And these are Japanese companies too, so I don't know what how that. Translates?
Those are in dollars. I did.
Oh, and they're in dollars, so that's very not good.
Yeah. No, not at all. Surprisingly though, maybe it's not surprising because also that could just be cramping down on how much these people can talk freely, but apparently work satisfaction there is real high, which is weird.
That's strange.
I wonder because there is apparently a lot of very strong NDAs that From Software employees aren't allowed to give interviews even after they're gone, which is crazy. Yeah. So maybe it's just weird. These people are scared to talk about their actual feelings on it. But
well, it's also I don't want to generalize, but I know Japan has a very work-centric kind of culture, so it could be different for them.
Absolutely. And the other thing I should say, just in all fairness, most of this was information before Elden Ring. After Elden Ring, Bandai Namco did say they were going to be raising some salaries. We don't know how much, and how much of a difference it's going to make. So maybe things are already better there, and this is old information.
Maybe.
But I'm not too hopeful about that.
I hope it is, because I love those games, and I'd love to see them get fairly compensated for it.
Yeah, and shit, they got more money than ever because Elden Ring. When I look at that thing, like, it's not just like, that was a big hit for a game. Not like.
No, that's a big hit. In general.
That is like it is. I don't know. Maybe
it's a cultural phenomenon. I'd say.
Oh, honestly. It absolutely was. It took over Twitter for a while, and in some ways, it still kind of is. No game is really like, even God of War. I feel like we're probably at the point where God of War talks died down, and Elden Ring is still pretty high.
Elden Ring was so big that people who I know who don't play video games ask me about Elden Ring.
I got asked about it at work all the time, and I don't even play that game. It's not my kind of thing, but crazy. But a game I do play is Monster Hunter, and something that I always wanted to happen but never thought would happen is happening. Monster Hunter Rise is coming to PS5, the Xbox Series, as well as actually I think PS4 and Xbox One later, but PS5 and Xbox Series, and it's coming to Game Pass on day one. I think I mentioned it on this show, as a matter of fact. Monster Hunter World is my favorite game ever, but I didn't play much of Rise because it was on Switch, and co-op on Switch is a pain in the ass for me. No voice chat. Their whole online thing sucks. I'm like, I would have played the hell of it if it was on Xbox, and now here it is. 4K 60 too.
I can't wait to dig into that. Honestly, that's a game that also slipped by me because I was like, I like my Switch, but I don't want to play Monster Hunter on Switch.
Yep.
It's not. I went through so many years of playing it on 3DS, and I hated it. and now we have it on proper consoles. I'm like, okay, I'll play Monster Hunter again.
It's coming on January 20th, so not far off.
Oh, can't wait.
I agree. Man, I'm very excited for that. And I wonder if this was always their plan, or if they did this because of Wild Hearts coming in like March.
Maybe.
Yeah, and they're just trying to crush that shit before it could even launch.
I have a feeling Wild Hearts is not going to kill Monster Hunter.
No. I mean, I wonder if Monster Hunter's trying to kill Wild Hearts, I'm saying.
Oh, that is a possibility.
Yeah. I don't know if they had always planned on bringing Rise to those other consoles, or if they just did that because Wild Hearts sprung up, and also could be because the sequel to World is taking longer than they expected. Or maybe this was always their plan, and I'm just making up conspiracy theories. That could very well be true.
It could be.
Transformers is getting an MMO, and that's not actually new news.
I did not know this.
Yeah, well, it's not something that's been like widely talked about. It was never officially announced, but it's happening. However, it is moving studios. It was at Certain Affinity, who is doing. They're doing a Monster Hunter-like for Xbox exclusively, and they're also working on Halo Infinite's Battle Royale-like mode, or maybe just straight Battle Royale. We don't know.
Okay.
So they're doing those two games. And they were doing the Transformers MMO, but that's moving over now to Splash Damage. Splash Damage, well known for doing Gears Tactics.
Okay.
As well as they are also similar to Certain Affinity. They do a lot of multiplayer modes for other games. Like, I think off the top of my head that they have done some stuff for Call of Duty and other shooters like that. But they're not the lead studio on many games except for Gears Tactics. I think they did Dirty Bomb, maybe? I might be wrong about that. But and they got bought by Tencent, I want to say.
Oh, okay. So
or maybe NetEase, one of those two.
Transformers once again being Chinese propaganda. I see.
Yes. I'm looking that up to make sure I get that right. What do you think? What do you want out of Transformers MMO?
I'd play a Transformer MMO.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not gonna play it for a long time. I pick it up for maybe like an hour or so. I'll be like, haha, this is silly, and then put it down. But
they did. Splash Damage did Wolfenstein Enemy Territory and Enemy Territory Quake Wars.
Okay. I don't know. I'm interested in giving this a shot. If this is like connected to the Michael Bay movies, I'm gonna be a little upset, to be honest with you.
I watched that. They just released a trailer for the next Michael Bay one.
For Primal. And Primal actually looks fun, but also I'm sick of Transformers looking like that.
It is Tencent. I was right.
So hopefully this will be good.
Yeah. Absolutely. It says, let's see. As for the game's plot, it's understood the Transformers will be fighting a new enemy on Earth under the name the Legion. The Legion are new enemies in the Transformers universe that consist of organic and non-organic matter that can corrupt Transformers and turn them into bigger, badder versions of themselves. That doesn't sound like it has anything to do with Michael Bay movie.
That sounds like GoBots or something. I don't know. Megazords.
Somewhat similar to Destiny's Hunters, Warlocks, and Titans, the Transformers title will have similar roles under the name Tank Damage Support.
Ooh, okay, all right. Now we're talking.
I believe
they should do this, but we're Gundam.
Gundam's their Overwatch clone just got released on consoles.
Ooh.
Free to play. Developed on Unreal Engine 4, it is said that the game felt very outdated but has potential. With an apparent 2023 release, although that sounds like it was before that they switched developers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll probably play it for 10 minutes. Like, haha, that's silly. And stop playing.
Free to play third-person MMO. This is sounding like Destiny, honestly. Oh, here it is.
Probably...
expected to release in 2023 and has taken inspiration from games like Destiny. Yeah, so... Oh, shit, that gets me more excited.
Okay.
Fuser. Remember that game? Well,
no.
This was Harmonix.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nope. I know what that was.
This was a game where you would like remix songs together and mash them together and shit. Well, and you may remember Harmonix actually got bought by Epic recently. And it's about 6 months ago or so. They're going to be doing a lot of music stuff within Fortnite's.
Okay.
But Fuser is getting delisted on January 19th, which is in like 2 weeks.
That's depressing a little bit. I remember Giant Bomb, Jan from Giant Bomb, streaming that game a lot, and it was highly enjoyable.
How did he stream it without all that getting copyright claims all over the damn
I don't know. I literally don't know, but it was pretty cool.
We are disabling Fuser's live services and all sales of the game as well as DLC. Players who own Fuser will still be able to play the campaign and quick play with any DLC they've already acquired. So it seems like all the servers and all that stuff's getting taken down.
Mm-hmm.
It's $20 right now. But, it's a bummer for them. I don't think this game ever took off in a big way.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it seemed awesome. The people who got into it really did like it, but... Yeah, one of those things, I'm sure Epic wants those guys to be working on stuff within Fortnite. They want to blow Fortnite up into, Fortnite's already big, but they want to do more music stuff in there for sure. Like Travis Scott and Ariana Grande. And
what was the other one? They had another one. I forget who it was.
Those are the only two I know.
The Doja Cat? It might have been Doja Cat.
Maybe. Who's that DJ Marshmallow guy? Did he do a thing?
Yep. Yeah, he did. I remember him. He's a skin in the game, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, there's that, plus the fact that this game just didn't take off. And, I think getting more DLC is expensive for, getting music licenses. So, they're just, they're cutting and running from that. It's a bummer. But that's where we're at. Yeah. And finally, last thing, this goddamn Mario trailer.
All right. So I think we have some pretty differing opinions about this.
I just feel ambivalent to the whole thing. Like, you go ahead.
Here's my whole thing with it. It's for kids. It's not. No matter what we say, our opinions don't matter.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
And on top of that, there's also the other thing that this is attached to a theme park. So a lot of this is going to be put into that theme park, and that's why this exists.
It just feels to me like everything looks like Mario, very much so, but it doesn't have that same spirit to me. It's like a Mario wrapping paper over a generic kids movie. It feels like the plot of every other kids movie I've ever seen. It just, I don't know, like I didn't necessarily need a Mario origin story. I don't need him to be
Chris Pratt.
in wonderment and afraid of everything he's seeing. Like, whoa, what's this Mushroom Kingdom? I can't believe this. It's just like, no, Mario should just be a happy warrior. He should just be like, all right, we're doing the thing. All right, let's do the thing and let's fucking go for it. And that's just and smiling the whole time and like that. Like I don't need him to be second guessing his world, his surroundings, I should say. I don't know. It feels so off to me. And it's not Chris Pratt, actually. I don't mind Chris Pratt.
People are like, "Oh, the Chris Pratt's the worst casting." I listen to him like it's not that bad. He's just doing a voice. It's not.
Yeah, he's got a slight Brooklyn accent. Although, like, I have more of a problem. Just I don't really want the characters talking at all. But what are you gonna do?
That doesn't. If this was a Zelda movie and Link talk, I'd be so mad. But this, I'm like, it's Mario. I don't care if he talks or not. To me, it's just Mario does not have rich lore. He's not. There's no Witcher bestiary when you put up a Mario game. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's Mario.
He doesn't have a rich lore, but he has
characteristics for sure.
He just has a feeling. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm just not feeling it, I guess. It's tough to describe.
The good news, if this fails, Nintendo will never speak to Universal again.
Well, I don't think it's going to fail. I think it's going to do bonkers.
I think it's actually going to be a pretty solid movie just from the cast alone.
I seem to be just looking around the internet in the extreme minority.
Yeah.
So I recognize that. But I don't know. I just never needed this, honestly. And I kind of I feel that
I'll say this. I was saying the same thing with the Sonic movie, and I love those movies.
I didn't watch them.
So
I feel that way about most video game movies, honestly. It just like it feels like a lot of them are just it's like, hey, video games make more money than movies mostly, but it's like, well, we don't feel like we are high art enough, so we have to go to movies so that the mainstream accepts us. I'm like, no, let's just fucking be a game. I don't know.
My problem is they pick the weirdest ones to make into movies.
Yes.
Like Last of Us, why is that being made into a show? I've already played The Last of Us. Why would I want to watch it?
Yep. The trailer just released today. I haven't even watched it. I'm probably not going to watch the show at all. I just
don't care because I already played the game and I like the game, but like if I watch it, I'm like, yep, that's Last of Us with the Pedro Pascals.
It would be more interesting if they did this stuff in the universe, but not with the same characters. Do like other stories. Like
That's why I think the Fallout show is the one I'm most interested in because I'm like, you're not remaking Fallout 1, you're just making a story in the Fallout universe.
I have not watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners, but my understanding is that's what that is too. Have you watched that?
Yes, I have. It's very good. It's fantastic.
And it's not the story of the game, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, so that's what I would like more of.
It does take from the movie, the show, the show takes from the game, but what they take is the music, and it's actually really cool how they use some of the similar stuff that's actually in the game soundtrack and in the show because it makes it feel more interconnected. It's really cool.
I would like them to do that kind of thing for when they're not doing Gears. They're not going to, but I would like that to be almost like Cloverfield, where it's just like a family living on Sarah when all of a sudden E-Day erupts and they have to try to survive it.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do that.
Though the one exception is I want a Mass Effect show, but here's the thing: Shepard is in the show, but he's not the main character. I want the show to be about people who are like interacting with Shepard.
Yeah. I feel like I remember hearing that originally Master Chief was not supposed to be the biggest part of the Halo show, and that eventually changed. I think I didn't even watch.
He should just be in the background. Like that's what you do. I feel like that's how you do a Halo show. Is Master Chief's in the background, and people have to react to Master Chief.
Mass Effect show is allegedly happening at Amazon, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're actually going to do it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. When most of the time when you hear about these video game deals, although now more of them have been coming out. I think Sonic was a big hit. And then
I don't see that Assassin's Creed show ever seeing the light of day, to be honest with you.
I'd forgotten that it even got announced until you just mentioned that.
The Gears movie will happen before the Assassin's Creed show does, I think.
Although, when they said they were doing a Twisted Metal show, I said they're never going to actually do that.
That's not happening. And then Anthony Mackie's in Twisted Metal.
And fucking Will Arnett is doing the voice of Sweet Tooth. It's
so weird.
Isn't Nev Campbell in it? I think.
I don't know. I think so.
I think Nev Campbell's in it. I don't know.
That's something they do, honestly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be weird shit. And honestly, most of these game movies and shit, I just haven't watched and won't watch. Did you watch Uncharted? I didn't.
I'm not watching Uncharted. You couldn't pay me to watch Uncharted.
Did you watch The Last Tomb Raider? I didn't.
I did on a plane. It was the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. I hate that. I hated it.
A lot of these, even the ones that are good, like Edge Runners and Arcane, I just haven't made time for yet. Even Castlevania, I
would say those are worth watching.
I believe you, and I've heard they're worth watching. I just haven't yet. Like I don't know.
Arcane.
It just feels so weird to me when games jump to movies as opposed to comic books, because comic books, they don't adapt the source material directly. Like Civil War in the movie is nothing like Civil War in the comics.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron in the comics is nothing like Age of Ultron in the movies. They'll take the name, but it's like it's basically a whole original story.
Yeah, when they do it for games or movies, it feels like they're just trying to, like, you love the game, right? I'm like, yeah, I love the game, but it's not, I don't want to experience the game again. Yeah. I'd like to experience the world again. That'd be pretty cool, but not, I don't want to hang out with Dom and his friends again. I don't want to do it.
100% agree. But yeah, Mario.
It's got my favorite Martian wife, Anya Taylor-Joy, in it, so it's worth watching.
Yeah, and apparently I think Donkey Kong's up next after Mario.
Yeah, they're building also a Donkey Kong expansion to the theme park, so hey, that'd be fun.
Boy.
I'm gonna meet Donkey Kong. My boyhood dream of being friends with Donkey Kong is gonna come true.
I want to be friends with Candy Kong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I
want a restraining order against Funky Kong, though.
Funky mode activated. And on that note,
oh god.
Look, both of us apparently separately are going to be live reacting to the Game Awards, so check out both of our Twitches and YouTubes and everything. And we will. I think we have. Let me double check the calendar, but I think we got one more episode coming for the end of the year. Oh, yeah. We might have two. Oh no, we got. Oh shit, the next one is like. Oh, New Year's Eve. I don't think we're gonna do an episode New Year's Eve. Probably.
Oh yeah.
Even though I guess I could. I never do shit on New Year's Eve, but I don't know about you.
I don't know if I'll be home, but we'll figure it out.
If not, then we'll take that week off and come back 7th. So, one more episode, we will talk about our favorite games of the year, and we'll recap the Game Awards. Because I imagine there's not going to be much news besides Game Awards stuff. And you can catch my stuff on Freshly Streamed Games on both YouTube and Twitch. Hunter?
You can check me out on twitch.tv/YoungKame. I'll be streaming, hopefully a little more soon. I've been taking a break because work's been so busy as we're in the holiday season. You cannot follow me on Twitter anymore.
I was about to say I have to redo our YouTube banner surrounding us right now. I'll just put a big X through that.
Yeah. But yeah, you can follow me on Tumblr though at MangoSNTL, and also on Hive, same name. Anywhere else, if you follow me, you found me somehow. I don't know how, but you did. So. And
you got the 2 podcasts we talked about. I mean,
that's
2
right.
of 3.
So,
I don't know.
Kame Club and Phantom Zone podcast. You can go listen to them. Talk about comic book stuff in Phantom Zone. We talk about video games as well on Comic Club. There wasn't an episode last week because I lost the audio.
Oh,
so
no. You know that's gonna one day that's gonna happen to us.
Yep. It's not fun when it happens. I'm telling you right now.
No, I know. I've lost YouTube videos and shit too. It drives me fucking crazy.
It's not fun.
I have still. There's from about 6 months ago. There's a Halo stream up of me that has no game audio in it. It's just me talking, and I didn't know it until the end. So I was so pissed. So now I check for that every time I start a stream. But anyway, that's it. And I'm gonna get back to Midnight Suns.
I am as well, actually.
All right. Goodbye.